mind during that process? Were you worried at all?
Yeah, it was very frustrating. I mean, you're dealing with like a lot of self-doubt. I mean, elbow stuff for a shot putter can be really difficult because like I would try and throw, wouldn't be able to, and then I had to spend a week rehabbing it to like try and throw again. So it's one of those things like you just don't know. At the back of your mind, you're like, man, at 31, am I ever going to get past this? Because it's like one step forward, two steps back. So proud of the way I stayed kind of, not positive, but made it so I did what I could. So like, I can't throw, okay, I can spend a little more time in the weight room so I'm not exerting myself in the ring. More sprints, more plyos. So I made the most of it. I had to rework a little bit of my technique because like I've always been a big finish guy. Like get to the front of the ring and hammer the shot, and always been a big finisher. That's kind of the American style. So trying to emulate some of the Europeans, like Zane Weir is a prime example. A smaller guy that's more efficient in generating more out of the back. You generate more out of the back, you have less force in the front. So trying to kind of rework my technique a little bit. So hopefully in the long run it'll be productive, because if I can combine my classic big hammer finish with a more efficient kind of technical out of the back, hopefully add some more distance.
Why did you decide to pull out of Prefontaine?
I took my first throws that Wednesday, the week of Prefontaine. So it was like, I did a training day and it was okay, but then it's like, man, I threw, and then the next day I was like, man, I threw all right. Like I could do Prefontaine. That day I was like, I could do Prefontaine in 3 days. And then the next day I woke up and I was like, yeah, the elbows, I can't straighten my arm. So I felt like it was the right call. That would have been like the third time re-aggravating that nerve impingement.
So when you saw, or if you saw Joe for that 23 meter, I mean, what kind of went through your mind?
Yes, I mean, for me it's frustrating just knowing that like I've thrown 23 multiple times and I'm sitting on the couch like, man, like I need to get this thing fixed up. So yeah, it was just frustrating because I mean I love being out there and competing against the guys, but the biggest thing is just got to be healthy to do it. So yeah. Stuck kind of burning the first half of the outdoor season, but didn't really have too much of a choice.
No surgery, right?
No, so I did have an operation, a hydrodissection. So they go in with saline and anesthetic and go under the nerve and try and clean up and lift that nerve out of the ulnar groove. So your ulnar groove goes through the elbow, so they go underneath it and try and lift it just with salt water, and it's super uncomfortable. Yeah, so I did have that, and it helped. We're just trying to get space through that as an ulnar nerve travels through the elbow, just trying to get space so it can move. That has helped a lot. But yeah, don't recommend that to anyone. It's super uncomfortable.
When was the operation?
April 13th.
Right elbow and right pec?
Right elbow, yeah. And then I tore my pec. So I tore my pec April 11th, and then the next day I went to the doc. I was like, hey, the elbow's giving me trouble. I'm not gonna be doing anything for a month, so let's see if we can get the elbow cleaned up. So yeah, it's been like one thing after another, but I finally feel like I'm on the right track.
What's the irony of being such a big, strong guy who powers for anything, and then like an elbow or something?
Yeah, shoot, the elbow is like, as a thrower, is like debilitating. I mean, you get that elbow where you can't straighten it. So like I was getting to like here, so you can't straighten it, you can't finish on the ball. So yeah, a bit ironic that one joint can completely shut you down. But yeah, you get that ulnar nerve inflamed and it's game over.
You mentioned that you kind of don't feel it once the adrenaline starts pumping out of here. Like how hard is it to kind of be cognizant of your long-term future and also want to do well in this?
Yeah. So I mean, that was a big part of the day, was like go out there. I was very limited on warm-ups, took a limited number of warm-up throws, and then also at a pretty low distance. It was like take 1 to 21 like I've been doing and move through, and so I was happy with that. But yeah, a big part is like, both short-term, I want to be healthy enough tomorrow to throw well and not have it impinge me, and then don't set myself back too much for Paris. And then the biggest thing is like long-term, when I'm done, I still want to be able to straighten my arm. So yeah, it's been a bit of a balancing act between my brain consciously saying like I want to throw hard, and my body like listen to the feedback that I'm getting. It's like, yeah, it's not there yet. So yeah, it's been frustrating, and so definitely a conscious effort, because my uncle was a javelin thrower who had multiple elbow surgeries, and he's like stuck. He can't get past 45 degrees. So I can kind of have firsthand experience seeing like where I don't want to end up.
What's his name?
Brian Crouser. He's actually through at University of Oregon, NCAA champ here. So yeah.
How much does all this affect your belief and confidence that you can hit the number that you've got written on the board in your weight room?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely been a challenge. There's been like a lot of days where I've had to take a step back and be like, because I'm looking at it, it's like, man, that seems impossible. Because even like, I throw 23 meters and like take a week off at the end of the season, and I pick up the shot and I look at where 23 meters is, and it's like this. There's no way I'm getting back to that. So yeah, when I'm struggling, like for a while, like I was struggling to throw 20 meters, even like 19 meters, which is a level I haven't been at since high school, freshman year of college. So it's like to see the distances that I was at was very humbling, and so kind of taking it just day by day, because it's easy to get lost in the big picture, like saying I want to throw 23 mid, 23 high right now, and it's like I can't throw 19. So it's really easy to see that, and that spread seems impossible to overcome. So mostly it was just like day by day, like instead of I need to throw 23 right now, like man, I just need to throw 19 meters. I need to throw 19 meters pain free. And then it was like, all right, I need to throw 20 meters well, because it was like I can smash 20 meters like I used to, but I'm not using my technique efficiently. So yeah, it's been a tough road for sure, but I'm proud of how I've overcome what has been a really, really difficult spring.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan.